So we're gonna take a little off track kind of break and go on to a different weapon outside of the dragon weapon set for right now. The boom bow actually had made a return on March 15th, which is insane. This weapon has been out 3 times total, including on March 15th, which 3 times is really rare for Save the World. And the boom bow is actually one of the very few bows that a lot of people don't use, just because it's the only bow to not have a reload perk just in the weapon, which is really weird because most bows, every single other bow does, but the boom bow doesn't. So I think it was one of the most requested like bows to be reworked to give us a reload perk, but we never got one. So the most we're going to do with it is a fire rate with a crit build with damage, crit rating, and crit damage, of course. And we're going to be using fire because the mission is going to be lightning enemies. But the boom bow can actually be acquired right now. It's in the weekly item or the weekly item event store. So definitely grab it. It's actually one of the very few bows that are very fun to run, but not really fun to run constantly. It's kind of like boom bow's pretty cool, kind of bow, just want to use it every once in a while. But you should definitely grab it. I mean, we're going to get into the gameplay and just show you what it actually can do. The loadout that we actually are going to be using, surprisingly enough, is going to be a Pharah build, or Pharah. I've been playing Overwatch too much, and I keep confusing Pharah and Pharah. But Pharah build, it's just a basic build. We're going to be running Stoneheart Pharah in the lead with a totally rocking out team perk along with Fumble and Battle Beat, because we're going to be up close to enemies, exploding them with the explosion of the boom bow, which the boom bow does have that explosion perk. And then, of course, we're going to be running Sure Shot, Quick Scope, and Locked and Reloaded, along with the Adrenaline Rush and, of course, turrets. But yeah, a little talk about the weapon real quick. The boom bow is actually one of the very few bows, of course, now to have that reload perk. However, it does a lot of damage. It, surprisingly enough, is very fun to use, and it has the explosive aspect to it. So yeah. And then also Stoneheart Pharah in the lead, it actually splinters off. It doesn't have multiple explosions, but it does do the damage when it does splinter off. But yeah, pretty cool. Otherwise, let's actually get into the actual mission itself. We're going to be doing a Deliver the Bomb 160s today, and let's just jump right into it. Alrighty, so we're in the mission, and I found a smasher, and I just want to see how much damage it actually does against a 160 smasher. Now, this is a fire one, so it's not going to do an insane amount of damage because it is an explosive weapon. It takes about, I think, 4 or 5 shots. But it does have that area damage. So if like multiple enemies are around, you could shoot it and it splinters off while doing explosive area damage. And it has the, I think does it have Affliction on it? I actually forgot. Yeah, it does have Affliction. So it kind of destroys once you shoot those initial enemies. And over time, it will eliminate them. But like, as you can see, it splinters off and it has that little explosion. And the little Affliction is going to kick in. Dang, that wolf just came in clutch. I'm going to tame you. Give me that. But yeah, against a smasher, it takes about 5 shots, but with multiple enemies around, it splinters off, and you can actually get a few enemies with the explosion. So otherwise, I'm gonna try to find an encampment. If not, we'll probably go to the actual defense, but let me go look around and see if we can find an encampment. Alrighty, so I found an encampment. These zones tend not to have encampments, which is kind of annoying, but I mean, we found one. And as you can see, the explosive damage does a lot. Like against a nurse, like 2 shots just about. An explosion, bam. A lot of enemies, bam, dead. And now this is not the best weapon to clear an encampment, but I like my in general sense of playing 160s. I try to have the most fun while playing 160s. So using different weapons is what makes the game fun. Like the boom bow. The boom bow is a very good weapon, and the only reason why you don't see it too often is because of that reload perk. But as you can see, it still does a lot of damage. I mean, like, look, I'm clearing power level 250 husk with 1 shot. Like, it is kind of fun to use. And, those initial shots are just really fun. But we are setting the defense up, and we have to get the tracks started. So let's actually just jump right into the actual defense. Alrighty, so the defense is started. We actually had to load into a new mission because the other one was glitched out. The tracks weren't connecting. So that's wonderful. Deliver the Bomb is probably one of the most glitchiest missions out there. This is the one thing about the boom bow that is like my worst enemy. Shielders. Shielders have like... Shielders, I can't shoot shielders. I only can shoot the outside of the bubble, and it doesn't do as much damage. But it does clear the enemies once I get into it. Like, as you can see, like, that is not too bad. I do want my Rockin' Riff activated, so I do get that reload, like, the increased reload. I think that's like, or like shoot faster, I guess, which explosive wise, I think it's really good because I can get the rock and riff activated a little bit faster because I'm doing more eliminations per. So like as you can see, like that rock and riff with it almost instantly kills a regular husk, and then with like normal husk or husky husk, dang, like not too bad. A note with this weapon, the boom bow, the more you charge back and the more you hold it to the full charge, it actually will do more damage on the explosive aspect of it. So let me get up to a place and show you exactly what it says. The explosive bow, sniper rifle, explosive bow fires an arrow that drops over time and explodes on impact. Damage, range, and velocity increases with charge time. So with it fully charged, it's going to do more damage, the explosive part. And it also shoots further if you charge it back, which usually most of the bows do it. I'm sad that we got a trap vulnerable mini boss, but I mean, it's still not too bad. Like against regular enemies, like in Deliver the Bomb or any missions that are actually just smaller enemies like Repair, anything like that in 160s, this weapon would be perfectly fine. It's really fun to use. I mean, I think this is one of the most like underrated bows. We are taking damage somewhere. Where's that at? I think it was the front side. Yeah, it was that front side. I don't think anyone put a trap there. I think it was just where the track is. It's really hard to defend this part because you can't put anything there and you can't destroy that track. But like the enemies are going to target it. Good thing I'm running the boom bow because I'm going to be able to kill these enemies pretty fast once they all group up over here. Let me throw some turrets up, get that rock and rift activated. But yeah, the boom bow. I mean, if you haven't tried it yourself, you should definitely get it. It is definitely a weapon that you should have and try out for yourself because, I mean, why not? I mean, it's one of the bows, one of the very first bows to actually be added, and it's currently out, which for the third time, it's still insane. For the third time ever, this bow is out in the shop. So you should definitely grab it, level up, and test it out for yourself. Now, there's different probably loadouts that you can run with this because the, you know, FAR isn't just the only character or only hero that increases sniper stuff and whatnot. I actually was thinking about a phase scout loadout with Chaos Agent. So like you could almost infinitely keep getting your ammo back. So you don't have to reload and reload. So you could shoot even more. But let me know if you want me to try that loadout out because I am curious to see if it actually would work or not. So I'd basically phase shift to reload. Now, reloading with Chaos Agent on a bow is not the smartest thing, but I kind of want to try it out to see if it would be worth it or not. But let me know if you would want something like that down in the comments. Otherwise, like I said, this boom bow, explosive damage, it's really fun to use. Like these group of enemies, pretty much dead. Now, I shoot it at the ground a lot, but if you shoot it at enemies, it's going to chain with the far and lead. It's going to chain to the other enemies, which honestly, kind of nice. I actually didn't think fire was going to work with it because this is one of the very few weapons that actually are technically an explosive weapon, but it's considered a sniper rifle, but it used shotgun shells. So it's kind of interesting how that works. But it's a pretty fun weapon. Like I said, definitely grab it in the shop right now. It'd be sad if you didn't grab it and at least try it out. But otherwise, the defense is done. And yeah, go try out the boom bow. Get it, level it up. Try it out on different loadouts and see what you think, and let me know down in the comments what you think of the weapon because I actually really enjoy it. It's definitely one of those weapons that I'll probably use every once in a while and not always, but I wanted to cover it because it's out and it's perfect timing. So yeah, let me know if you guys want any other videos. Stay tuned for the rest of the dragon weapon set that'll be coming out and throughout a few weeks left until the end of the Save the World season. Otherwise, thanks for watching. You guys have an amazing day and I'll see you guys in the next one.